Hi, all right, this is day 2 in your football workout. So remember, we're giving you sample programs here, but it's just gonna give you an idea of what you can do with your football player clients. Adam, you ready?
Ready.
All right, I think you don't need that. Perfect. Okay, and by the way, we're filming in San Diego in case you were wondering, but I think it was pretty obvious, okay? Yeah. Yeah, Adam actually plays for the Chargers, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's your name? No. All right, we're gonna get into the workout. We're gonna start with the lat pull down. So remember, our emphasis here is not just on test performance for these football players in their training camps, but also in overall body conditioning, strength, endurance, power, all of that's gonna help a football player. So basic lat pull down to start. Okay, arms overhead, and just pulling the elbows down to your side. Now, while these exercises may seem pretty basic for you as a trainer, just remember that if a football player that you're training hasn't been on a GTS before, just teach them through that initial learning curve, because it'll be different not lifting heavy weights. That's probably what they're used to, but they're gonna get so many benefits from this. So from here, let's go into a pull over crunch. Good. So working the back muscles, working the ab muscles, we gotta get all of that in, not just for the overall body conditioning, but for the actual power that can come from having a strong core and a strong back in any position in football. Good. We could add variations such as rotation with this, with one arm going across or both arms. Okay, so working the obliques. Power with dynamic movement. Those are the things you can get here with this strength. Now, triceps press down. This might be especially interesting for them to try on the GTS because they're not fixed, they're shoulders. So watch again for that movement. You might get a lot of extra movement. If they're having trouble, have them start lower like Adam was just doing, and then as they get comfortable with stabilizing the shoulder, they can move up. You could do unilateral, bilateral, static equilibrium. If they're really acting kind of tough and they think, oh, this is easy, I'm not lifting any weights, have them try this and see if they can do it. It's a great challenge for them. Yep. Yeah, Adam says, oh yeah, big challenge. So from here, chest press, just gonna sit up, move right back. Cables are perfect under the arms, sitting up tall. If your player has issues with hip flexibility, remember they can just take their feet off to the side, just try to keep them off the ground. So basic chest press, good. From here, perfect. So coming towards my hands, nice. Now this is really gonna be hard for them to be able to sit up and push with a lot of power. They may be used to laying on their back and bench pressing a couple 100 pounds, but sitting up and doing this is a whole new demand on the body. So going from that into unilateral, either just regular or we can also go to incline. So we can go upward slightly, good, work the chest in a few different angles. Use your angles, good, going up, going down. You as the client or as the trainer can get very interactive with your client, can have them punch. Let's go static equilibrium and then I'm gonna let you stop. Good, go up, go up, go up, go up, go down, and take a little break. Nice, good. So be interactive. This is your chance with them to make it interesting, to make it fun. Okay, that's something that's gonna add to the benefit of training with a trainer as opposed to just trying to do this workout on their own. Now, chest fly. From here, gonna extend the arms out to the side and quickly move into a chest fly. So you can see we're still taking advantage of the benefits of working on the GTS, how we can move from exercise to exercise. Nice. Adam's going right into a unilateral variation. So especially if they're in a position where they're dominant on one side, these players need your help in getting back into balance. So chest fly, good job. So from here, we're gonna change to a kneeling position. We're gonna turn around and kneel. Make sure before they get on the board that they understand anchoring in. You may also, to begin, have a little safety catch of your foot, but make sure they knuckle down, anchor in. Okay, good. So basic row from here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have you put your legs down. I just noticed something, stand up. I'm gonna change those pulleys into a higher position since we are kneeling. And again, you're probably going to be dealing with some pretty large individuals if they're your football players. So now I'm going to have you anchor in. Okay, so basic row, pulling the elbows past the rib cage, very nice. But it's not so basic because of the challenge on the core here. So watch that new challenge. Good, keep the shoulders down, excellent. So a basic row, or we can even now go into an upright row. So we're gonna bring those elbows a little higher, good. But I'm not gonna have you lift with the hands, I'm gonna have you lead with the elbows. So keep your up there, perfect. So leading with the elbows, that's a pretty common cue to give them. Notice he's doing a great job of pulling into his back here. Meanwhile, there's even load placed on the quadriceps just to hold this position. So you got a dynamic load happening here, very comprehensive. Okay, nice. Instead of 2 arms, you could do 1 arm, you could do 1 arm with rotation. You've got all sorts of variations. Make sure you're thinking about those and using them. Okay, bicep curl, sitting up and doing your, or turning your palms up and doing the curls, good. The main difference here is if your guys are used to working with weights, they're gonna be used to having their arms down by their side and lifting here. Get them used to lining up with the pulleys there on the lat bars. Good, so unilateral, bilateral, static equilibrium, all of that. Again, it's a new challenge by being in this kneeling position with the moving glide board. Okay, we're gonna have you go ahead and step off for a second. We're supposed to anchor down first before we step off. Adam's done this a lot, but get your clients to anchor down. Make sure you remind them. That was my fault, I didn't remind you.
There you go.
So I'm gonna have you step over to this side. We're gonna do kneeling torso rotation. Okay, so let's go ahead and use the front handle. We already have it in the higher pin placement. Remember, you need to make those adjustments. Okay, I'm gonna have you good. Yeah, anchor down always, always. You could even move down a little bit more, so anchor down again. You could move down a little bit lower on the glide board, might feel a little more stable, good. And to start, you might have that wider kneeling position for a bigger base of support, and then hands in front, and then just your basic torso rotation, excellent. Very nice, very nice. So what I'm looking at here is if he's rotating in his torso, just like your torso rotation with your other clients. But notice now turning into that core challenge and the obliques and the power of rotating. There's a lot of that that comes into play on the football field. You've got to be strong in your middle and you've got to be able to twist and turn. Okay, 1 more, good. Incline, decline, pulses, there's a lot of different options. If you still want even more load, remember you still have the other handle. We were just using 1. Okay, anchor down for me there, Adam. Step off. And we're gonna go ahead and detach the pulleys. Even with just a couple of reps, because of the new loads and the new challenges of working on the GTS, you're gonna find that many football players are actually having a harder time with working on the GTS, even though they're not using any load. Okay, they're not using external load, I should say. And that may be weird to them to get the concept at first, okay? But you can just put them on a few exercises and then they'll understand. So pull-ups, in case you didn't guess. Pull-ups are next. So from here, I'm gonna have Adam start with a basic pull-up just so he gets comfortable doing them on the GTS. Now I have him at a little bit lower level than I know he'd be able to be on level 8 easily, but I want to demonstrate a variation for you here that I guarantee you they've never done before if they haven't worked on the GTS, and that's the power pull-up, plyometric pull-ups. It's really great. Most of you have already seen these and maybe already do them with your clients, but if you haven't, this is the time to introduce it with those high-level athletes. Nice. All right, let's change that up. Slow, no plyo, just come up with 2 hands and then lower with 1. Remember, we can overload one side over the other. If you want to, you could even go to lower level and just work on a 1-arm pull-up if you needed to. But there's just variations for you that help you keep your football player in that balanced position that they need to be in for their body and their fitness level. All right, nice. Okay, so go ahead and just put your feet, you're actually right where you need to be. Stay right where you were, down there. We make this transition real smooth for our last exercise here on day 2 is back extension. So you can relax down, and actually I would put your hands at your forehead, good, and then you're just gonna lift up, feels comfortable, and then back down, good. The reason why I have my players put their hands here on their forehead is a lot of times they automatically go back here. Well, that can put a lot of pressure on the shoulder joint that doesn't need to be there. So by putting the hands in front, just takes out some of that. So it doesn't need to be a real big movement, just as them enough to come off the glide board, and they can even rotate side to side, again adding in that core challenge. Nice. So Adam finishes this, I'm gonna wrap it up. But that's day 2 with our football training. Remember, with your football players, total body strength and conditioning will translate to better performance on the field. Hands down, no doubt about it. So get them on the GTS and get them going. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
Nice.